class are you taking?
I'm actually not taking any comp classes this semester, actually. Sad about what I need to catch up on my classes.
Yeah.
Straight out of high school anyway, so I have to start like scratch pretty much, because I know a lot of people usually transfer now.
Yeah.
They do their other classes, so they can
Yeah, I have to do it too. I'm taking 3 this semester and then 2 comp classes.
and you're not.
Yeah. I have to graduate in 4 years.
That's good. Good for you.
Yeah, I always the same thing. I have to catch up on my other classes, so they're boring, but I found a couple of good ones.
Should we get started? Can I be here instead of sitting at the desk? Hi, everybody. Thank you for coming. I was hoping a few more people would come, but on the other hand, I'm glad some people came at all. This is our first meeting of Women in Media and Tech, and my name is Pam Musell. I know one of you in the room, but I teach here in the comm department and also in NPT. I teach the editing here and the Adobe certified Premiere class in NPT. And I've been thinking about trying to get a group like this started for a long time. And I don't know why, I kept looking at the pages of student activities saying, like, how come there isn't a women's group for women in media and tech? Hi. And I finally just decided, well, our department could get one going. So that's why I'm standing up here. The other person who is helping me is Champagne, which most of you must know. And so we're going to talk a little bit today. I'll have one in a bit. We're going to talk a little bit today, but then really what we want to do is turn this over to you guys. Because ultimately what we want is this to be your group. So we're kind of spearheading it, and we'll be here to help you with whatever you decide to do with this group. And we also have ideas of what we could do with this group, but we want it to be your group. And what I want to say before we get started is that at first I thought, well, maybe I'll come and I'll read them some of the terrible hiring statistics for women in media and film and tech. And then I just thought, they probably know that already, and that's a little bit of a depressing way to start a meeting. And what I really want to say is that I feel now more than ever that this industry is going to change. And you guys are going to change it. I mean, we are too, but I'm a little bit older than you. You guys are going to change it. I really do feel for the first time that we're at some kind of a tipping point. And when I think about changing the media industry, we're creating a group for women to focus on particular challenges for women, opportunities for women. But when I think about it, I really think about changing the media industry to be completely inclusive in every way that that can mean. So, you know, able, disabled, all races, all genders, everyone is included and is represented both in front of and behind the camera. So that's my vision, and I feel, for whatever reason, I feel that really your generation is going to do that. You're going to completely redefine what the media industry is. So I'm glad you all came. And we have with us someone who's a pioneer
So I brought the cookies, you know.
I was gonna say the cookie pioneer.
And is there any way, Champagne, because I know you're streaming it, but is there a way we can meet in a circle or?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be really good.
want us to
I'm
move
never
around?
opening, like, I'm looking at her back.
I'm never making
It's pretty.
Yeah, I know.
Semicircles
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
But this isn't about,
One moment straight.
Everyone like
we're all together.
Yes.
And my feeling always about a circle is we're all together. And it's not so much, you know, the, you know, where.
You want to be inclusive.
Yeah, it changes the dynamic. You tell us how we should sit,
Yeah.
Champagne.
Go around a little bit more. Everyone a little bit.
Squeeze in.
It's all about the camera. It's all about the camera.
Yeah, we're really glad, hoping that some of our online students wanted to be included in the group, which is why we are streaming this, so that everybody who is involved in the department and in the school can be a part of this group.
And I always believe that, you know, food. That we come together with food. So with
I
cookies,
agree.
I said, I'm getting the cookies. I asked Champagne, what do we need? I'm all about food. That's the whole thing about being in, for us broadcasting, that's an old word, but it was all about food.
Yeah.
You know, we went to meetings for food. We were enticed for food. Anyway, I know that they did something similar like this in athletics, right?
Yeah, we had the Wild Women's program because like there's a lot of stresses that come along with collegiate athletics. Like, you know, you're trying to balance not only school, but some people have jobs, and then some people aren't on full scholarships. So we had, and we don't have a health center here.
Yeah, we do.
We don't have a health center at school, so it was really important that to the athletic department to start a women's group so that we could talk about like finding jobs in every department and dealing with boys if we wanted to talk about. You know, it was just a really open forum that all of us needed. More importantly, health. Regardless, it was more for our mental health to be able to have a safe place to talk. So that's what I was looking for this place too.
And then what we're also learning too, I mean, how we want this to be inclusive, you know, that we also know that I was watching this documentary piece. We also want to make sure that we ask for the correct pronouns, as to how people want to be identified. That's a new thing now, you know, ask for the, if you're unsure, ask for the correct pronoun. And how people want to be identified. I think that's key moving forward, especially with new generation. Right. So,
Especially in San Francisco.
and, you know, and really why I chose to live here in San Francisco, you know, where I'm from, Hawaii, and I chose San Francisco because I wanted diversity. I wanted to feel that I could feel good here. And I didn't choose Texas. You're from Texas, a great state. I didn't choose South Carolina, if you're from there, great state. But I didn't choose because I chose San Francisco because I knew what I looked like. And I knew diversity. Back then we called it affirmative action. So I chose San Francisco for a reason, and it was for me to feel like I could belong and I could excel and succeed. So I want to know
pull
from you.
the desk forward. This is very informal, so.
Yeah, there's
we're
no,
all
like,
together.
yeah.
There's no
All of us can
hierarchy.
just sit up here and you have to sit
Oh,
back
there
there.
is
No,
It's just the camera that like freaks everyone out. It's like
No
walking in.
hierarchy.
The
No hierarchy.
camera is only because some online students want to join
Oh,
in.
okay.
Oh,
So
So,
we're
so you know,
streaming it.
maybe we should make sure that everybody knows everybody else. So you go first. Say your name and where you're from and what you're. And we can ask questions. So go.
My name is Kari Kim. I'm from Korea, and this is my first semester, and I'm a graduate student. Yeah. And I'm taking the journalism class right now and the web class. That's all. And we are.
And in Korea, how equal is it for men and women?
I don't think so. We are not. It's these days a lot of Korean people doesn't want to do. Is it particularly women doesn't want to get married because if they married and has babies, they stop their careers, like, and they have to back to their works. I don't think so. We are really low graded, low listed on the OECD parallel, the men's and women's rates.
Okay, I'm not moving to Korea anytime soon. And that was, one of the things. But anyway, I'm Jan, I'm from Hawaii, born and raised. And I always say that, I had this dream, but I couldn't share it with anybody because nobody saw me, a face like mine, on television back in the 70s. So I had this dream, and I wanted to interview the people in Hollywood. I read those magazines, we didn't have Twitter then, and I had these dreams, but I couldn't say it because nobody said, "Oh, Jan, do you want to be on TV? Do you want to be a reporter, a broadcaster, anchor? Why don't you come?" It wasn't that. But if you believe in yourself, and I ask that you do, you can make it. Hard work, a lot of hours, but I'm living proof that you can. And so, we've got to turn over to Dee, who has her Hawaiian roots, and who interviewed Moana. I love it.
I'm DeAndre, but everyone just knows me as Dee. I'm from a bunch of places, I guess. I'm Canadian originally, but my mom moved us to the States when I was 4, and then all my American family lives in Hawaii, so going back and forth has kind of been my life.
Grandma lives in Kaimuki.
Yeah, my grandma lives in Kaimuki. I'm moving there in September, so I'm in my final semester. I've ever really wanted in my whole entire life, where I wanted to be a paleontologist when I was younger because I thought dinosaurs were like the coolest thing. But what I realized is because I wanted to travel, and I knew that when I started falling in love with television and the media and stuff, I realized that could also help me travel and meet people. Because my biggest thing, if you know me, I love to meet people and learn new experiences and new people and new things. It helps you as a human to grow within yourself. So I'm going to Hawaii to pursue a videography career right now. I like doing on-camera stuff, but I feel like my first step should be in videography so that I can network in Hawaii, and that way I can get outsourced to not only islands in the Pacific Ocean, but all along the coast of the States, and then maybe even into Asia and Europe and Canada.
I'm Pam, and I teach here, and
No.
She has like so much on her resume.
I've lived in the Bay Area now for a really long time, maybe almost 25 years plus. And I used to work as a sound editor in feature films, but I'm trying to do my own work now as well as teach here. So I've been working on a documentary for a while, which I'm hoping to finish within the next 6 to 8 months. And yeah, I just sort of, it's about gentrification in South Berkeley. And yeah, and so as I said, like, one of the things that I notice is that it sort of fluctuates in terms of how many women students are in my classes. And I know Talia was in a class where there were very few women. It felt like.
Yeah. I think it was like me, Sterling, and Taylor.
Yeah.
And Celeste.
Yes.
4. And
Four.
the rest of them were baseball boys.
4. And then this semester there's 3.
Women?
And 3 women out of a class of 15. And
Wow.
it really changes, it changes also how people respond to the work. Yesterday, someone turned in this amazing project about body images and how women feel about themselves and how we're so critical on ourselves. And it was incredible. It was really, really amazing. Nobody said anything. The only person who said anything was this male student from India who said that was amazing. I've never seen a story like that. And someone who remained nameless, one of the guys said, "Oh, it's a huge deal here."
Oh.
And I said, this is an amazing piece and all this stuff. But I felt like if there were more women in this
We would have been
class,
cheering, standing up
the
and
discussion would be really different, and the acknowledgement about this project would be really different. So it just felt to me, it's really important for the women students here to really know that their work is important. And maybe they don't get that because so many of the other people watching it, it doesn't resonate with them because they don't have that experience.
And we have to find our voices. You are in that class. We have to be brave enough to say, that was a fabulous piece. I learned a lot. Even though nobody is saying anything because there are more boys than women,
Yeah.
you have to find your voice and say it was great.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, I'm Jasmine. I might be the oddball out here because I'm not in comms or anything.
we welcome you.
I'm an audio student.
Cool, music.
Sound design.
Sound design
But-
with Brad?
Yeah. So basically all around audio lady. Sound editing, Foley, sound design, engineering, all
Oh,
that.
that's so cool.
So I do basically anything that doesn't have to do with music. That's what I do because I mean I've been an instrumentalist for about 10 years with my violin.
You play
but
violin?
I do.
So cool.
You're killing it.
Thank you. I've been playing for a long
Wow.
time, but at first I started composing coming here, but then I realized like, oh, I'm really bad at it and I don't like it. Then I took an audio production class. I'm like, this is what I gotta do. This is so I am specializing in sound design and audio for video games.
Oh, wow.
It's definitely what I love to do, as my attire and backpack will say. I'm originally from Los Angeles, lived there for 10 years, and then I moved to the Central Valley of California for another 10 years, still currently residing there. Different dynamic there from going to Los Angeles, 'cause I'm mixed. I'm Puerto Rican and black and Mexican. I'm a lot of things, so I never really felt like I belonged in many different places. I wasn't black enough, I wasn't Mexican enough, I wasn't enough to be involved in all these groups. So then I moved to Visalia in the Central Valley, which is predominantly white, and now I'm a real oddball out because I'm mixed and I'm just completely different, and everyone either likes it or they don't like it. 'Cause my family moved in the neighborhood, they're just like, oh hello, I guess. It's like, all right, cool. And now being involved in audio, which has definitely been a male-dominated industry, and with some of the classes that I've taken, it's mainly all guys in there, and there's no women teachers in audio either. That would be cool to see, but I've only
You
had.
could be the first.
That would be fun. I have been helping some high school classes, some audio stuff.
So if you can step it up and step up, good for you.
That'd be really fun.
And is it Jasmine or Jaslyn or
Jasmine,
Jasmine?
like the rice.
Like Jazzmin or
Jasmine. I'm actually named after the princess.
Oh,
Yes, my brother's 4 years older than me. He actually goes here too, and he was obsessed with Aladdin. My parents were fighting over names. It's just like Jasmine. Name her Jasmine.
Awesome. Wait, that's so sweet.
Thank you.
I wanted to get a cat and name it Raja, but then I found out I'm allergic to cats.
I
so
wanted a
that's-
tiger. Who didn't want a tiger and a monkey?
Yeah.
Honestly.
Seriously.
Thank you for coming.
Of
Yeah.
course.
Shalane.
Hi everybody. My name is Shalia. You can call me Leah. I'm very happy to be here and a part of the comm department. I'm from Washington D.C. and for a long time back home, I felt like I didn't really belong there, and I was really trying to find my way in school. And then when I pushed to get here like twice, I almost didn't get here like twice for a lot of reasons. But I really feel like I belong here, and I'm just really grateful for this school, for just opening my eyes. I thought I just wanted to do on camera, and like when I would tell people what I want to do, they would either say like be a nurse or something because I was like health or something, or like, oh, because you're attractive, you could just do like on camera stuff. No, like I want to do it all, and I've seen that. Like I would network with certain people, and it would be like with men and stuff, and they're like, okay, so you could just do that. And I'm like, no, I can do video, I can edit, I can do this, I can do voiceover. I just don't want to be a face on, in front of the camera. So I'm really excited to be here, and I think more women should play all roles in media, because there's not a lot of us there, and if anything, they try to place us in like, oh, you're a woman, you're pretty, be in front of the camera. No, we can do it all. So I'm really excited about this. Excited to be here.
Thank you for finding us.
Yes.
Bailey.
You're welcome.
I'm Bailey, for those of you who don't know. most of you. I'm from Vancouver, Canada, and I was kind of brought here by a mixture of like the school and volleyball. I'm also an athlete at the school, and yeah, I'm in my third year, and I'm not really sure what I want to do yet. It's the same. I kind of like so many components right now, from kind of editing to being on camera to writing, like just all of those different things. So I'm kind of just looking and learning, hearing from a bunch of different people's experiences as well, even women in sports and women in general. I mean, the industry, I've met people, one of the big I met a girl actually back home, and we were talking about, you know, what I did and stuff, and she was very, very negative at the moment. She had just got laid off her job, and there was a lot of layoffs that had happened kind of in the industry, and she was pretty much like, oh well, good luck to the rest of you. We're all getting laid off. We'll get all the jobs before you guys and stuff. And I was just like, wow, like this is someone that kind of in my community per se, older, but kind of in the community, the volleyball community that I was in. I was just kind of like, okay, wow, nice, you know, nice to talk to you. So I feel like
Very Canadian response.
I really like want to take like a really positive side of it right now, like just learning like women in tech and trying to find, you know, different openings and stuff, and not be really closed-minded like she was at the moment.
Vancouver's such a good place though right now too to like get in all media and
Lots of movies,
everything.
stuff.
A lot of
yeah.
movies going on.
Yeah, because Canada's like really cheap right now,
Right.
so a lot of the film and television places
Our
are
dollar's
outsourcing.
really low right now.
It's like 30 cents less right now.
Yeah, it's
It's
really
bad. So everybody, like for like The Walking Dead, they're switching from filming in like South Carolina or something to like Vancouver because the
Wow.
price is much better and it's green everywhere, so it's really
Yeah.
chill.
So good for you.
What part of Canada are you from?
I'm an East Coaster. Not from Ontario, but you know California really well?
Yeah.
Okay, so like we're the Toronto, San Francisco would be like Toronto.
Yeah, I've been there.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
it's kinda
3
like
hours
Niagara
north
Falls,
to like
right?
Vacaville. That's where I'm from. It's a really small French town. Yeah, it's not that cool. It's cabin country.
Do you mind if I get a plate so I can put this cookie down?
Oh,
I've been holding it like.
Oh, no, a napkin, give her a napkin. Give her a
Okay, where did the
napkin.
napkin go?
And this is the thing, you know, we're with all women.
Thank you.
Ask anything and say
Oh,
anything because we are safe. You know, you put in a mixed group and, you know, they're
There's fights and there's
Debate.
So you can ask any,
sure.
okay, so you're old.
Okay, my name is Vanessa. I am a comm student. I know Champagne, a couple other students here. But basically, I heard from the Academy of Art University when they started sending me the letters and the booklet, and I started doing research on the Academy, and I realized I've always been interested in broadcasting, and I came for a tour, and they showed me the rooms, newsrooms. I got introduced to a couple instructors that were here, and I just realized I really wanted to go on with it. So I'm from SoCal, Riverside specifically. So it was hard at first, just thinking I was going to be away from family, because I come from a big family of 8, and I'm one of the youngest. So it was really hard to make that decision, but I realized, you know, when you have a passion for someone, it's really important to pursue it. And I figured that I had the capacity to go on and pursue something. So I moved out here when I was 17 and a half. I lived in the East Bay, and I was working, and just working and going to school, it just made me realize how much someone can actually go on and take by following their dreams, and just, you know, follow your dreams and never second guess something that you really want to do, because once you give up, you're going to regret it, and you're going to think, why didn't I do that? And once you actually make it, it's just like, wow, like I did it, and I can do so much with it. So I just felt like being a student here at the Academy has opened my eyes as well. I didn't know broadcasting was in such a big range of editing, writing, producing. Like when I thought of broadcasting, I only thought about reporting and, you know, just like the basics of it. But once I actually started taking classes from radio, podcasting, just everything that the school offers here, I just felt like it was something that I really, really was looking into, and it just opened my eyes, and it just makes me think I really want to do more than just broadcasting now. I want to
do like coding. Like I took Desmond's coding class and I realized like, wow, I can actually make my own website now, and you know, I can advertise myself in a better way. And it just made me realize a lot of things, and I'm so happy that I came here to the academy. Because it changed my whole perspective about it for sure.
Doesn't this department, I mean, in every department, like, sorry, but I feel
Department
like
bias.
the school, but I feel like the school really makes you feel like super, and I'm speaking for example in calm, it makes you feel really self-sufficient. Like I have friends that are studying like journalism at other schools, like just basic writing and stuff, and or friends that are studying other things and want to create their own businesses, and they're like, hey, I don't really know how to do this, like can you help me? And like, I don't know, just being able to help other people with their stuff,
Yeah.
I feel so like empowered, you know?
Yeah. Just like, I'm sorry, I didn't
No, go ahead.
Just like, just coming in the first semester, I went right on camera, and I was
Yes.
like, wow, like not a lot of people get to experience that. Like
Yeah.
from different universities, they just throw you out there, and you know, you kind of learn from it. You learn from your mistakes, and it makes you a better person.
Aw, so glad.
I hate going last. Everyone said
No,
everything.
champagne,
good.
Champagne's
champagne.
gonna go
Oh,
last.
you're not
Oh my God.
Oh, I'm Talia. I'm from Laie, Hawaii. Yeah.
Hawaii people going, yay!
Yeah, I'm just, so I'm like the same, I'm mixed. So my mom's full Samoan and my dad's half Samoan and Irish and Russian. So I'm like definitely like in that
Oh, yeah,
mixed
you're
group.
cool.
Yeah, I grew up in a family that's really huge in football. Like a lot of my cousins played collegiate football, NFL. So I'm just from like a really.
What high school did you go to?
I was gonna go to Koku, but we moved to Utah like 4 years
Oh,
ago.
okay.
Yeah, so yeah, but I just grew up in a really big football family. So ever since I was young, I've always been in that sports environment and just been surrounded by a lot of guys and just the whole, football thing. And so when I was really little, I used to always just commentate and talk and like pretend like I was a little reporter. And so like when I was with my dad and my uncles and them, and one day like my dad gave me like a black brush and told me to go stand next to the TV and pretend I was like a little reporter. And, yeah, and I like still remember like that's like my experience like whenever they ask me like what made you want to do that. So ever since then like that's what I decided. And then the same thing too, like who said they wanted you to be like a nurse or was it
Oh,
you?
yeah.
Yeah. So same thing in high school, like I would always say, oh yeah, I want to be a sports broadcaster, I want to be a sideline football reporter, and people would be like, I don't know, like you could look into nursing or you could be a lawyer, and like the counselors just like calling my parents and tell them like, yeah, she like won't go to our career events and she's not looking into any of the local schools here like Weber State or Utah. And I'm like, I want to go there. Like, how are you guys gonna help me get to where I want to be? I was like so set on what I wanted to do, and so when I found this school, it was like a puzzle piece. Like it literally felt like it was so awesome. Meeting Jan, I know. Meeting Jan and just like the whole environment and
Hawaii.
oh yeah. So
Where are your girls?
yeah. It's just awesome. And then same thing too, like I thought I'd just come in like do on camera stuff, but just teaching like the editing. I took Pam's, I love the editing class, and then Tuan's producing class and just like all this different stuff. So I feel like so equipped to go into like the work field and do good. And I want to be the first Polynesian sports broadcaster.
Woo!
For ESPN. That's like my dream.
I mean, you might as well. There's so
Should.
many polys in all
Yeah.
sports.
That's what I'm
And
saying.
there
And
are none now.
there's none.
None.
And there's no girls. And I come from a family that I know the football players and I know how to pronounce the names because I hate when people slaughter the names on
Amen.
TV. Yeah.
You should be the first.
I so support that.
Thank you.
We want to get to Champagne, but you should also say your ethnic background, so you have a bunch.
I do. And people are just like, what are you? I hate that question.
I literally look at you like, what are you?
I'm
She's
like,
not
I'm
too
Canadian
light.
American. No, I'm like, my mom is French Canadian, like the whole Europe melee, like a bunch of stuff. I'm black. My dad, I'm First Nations, which is like Native American, but from Canada. Like my great grandma, like we still own the property on the res, like it's super chill. Yeah. My family's all Hawaiian. I'm the only one that's not, so it's kind of confusing. We share like a white side, but when it's your culture, right? Like that's who I grew up with, so it's really confusing sometimes. I just tell people I am.
Don't you think she? I hate to say it. She can be really wild,
Yeah,
right?
she really does.
She
She could pass off.
Oh yeah, no. I like go. No,
You're so bad, she can pass off.
No, I go because that's the thing I'm always worried about. Like when I was younger, I was like, well, I'm not like I didn't want anyone to think I was like super like Holly or like super like not gonna fit in. But like now when I go, I used to have last summer. I had 2 summers ago. I had really blonde hair, and I was really dark. And I went and I was in Waimea, and this girl like walks up to me and she was like, hey, how's it going? Like she was like just super pigeon with me, which is like super slangy. And I was like, yeah, it's great. She was like, oh. No, yeah.
Anyway, I wanted to.
Good times, but super mixed.
Champagne. Yay, champagne! MVP.
I know most of you except for Johnson, so nice meeting you.
Hello.
How far do you want to go back?
You started here.
Where were you born?
Born in the East Bay, born and raised, so local. All my life, I grew up with 2 older brothers, so they played basketball, baseball, football, like just always around sports. So when I came here on my softball visit, 8 years ago now, I knew I wanted to do sports broadcasting. That's what I wanted to do. And then I got here, and then I got on camera, and I was like, no way, but then at the same time, like you guys mentioned, I got to edit, shoot, and do everything else. So that's how I got to be behind the scenes, and you guys all know, like I run the studios, and now I know a lot. All these years later, but when Pam approached me about like having this group, I thought it was an amazing idea. We talked about this a little bit, but
A couple weeks ago, yeah. You
yeah.
even asked me Shirley.
Yeah. So last July, I worked the NBA Finals, Warriors versus the Cavs. I was a PA.
There's something on your shoulder.
I was a PA working. So I got to work with a lot of the camera operators, which are all men. So every single person like in that room that was holding a camera was a guy. Like their assistants or their PAs, whatever you guys want to call them, were men, women, old, young, like everything. But everyone with the camera, what I want to do, were all men. So I was just like, I mean, don't get me wrong, it was an amazing time, like once in a lifetime opportunity,
And maybe again.
and maybe again.
But it's humbling.
But yeah, like it's cool to be there. Like I'm here working on the floor, running around with all these guys. Like makes me feel like I can do what they're doing. So
And you did.
and I
Yeah.
And will.
And will too.
Yes. Yes.
Is anybody online that you can tell her?
there's 2 people watching.
Hey, 2 people.
I think one may be me because I have it on my
Hey, one person. Welcome.
So, I'm gonna leave it to Pam, I've got a class, but we wanna hear from you, like, what would you like to accomplish? What would you like to discuss? Who do you wanna meet? I mean, where do you wanna go? I mean, we don't have to meet here, we can go elsewhere. I wanna go to the Twitter building myself. Think out of the box. I mean, just don't think, we wanna go here, we're gonna go.
We can go get a dinner at the end of like the semester.
Yes, we can do
sounds
that.
I'm trying to be bougie.
Twitter is a lot of tech, Yelp is right here.
Oh, yeah.
We can go see them. I mean, I just wanna, we can do, right? I just think what we
We
wanna
think about
do.
things that are gonna happen next year, because I know that the rugby sevens are coming to the Bay Area. So like, I wanna like be there at the event, like do the meeting. I wanna like
And-
intern for them.
And I'll be gone, but if they do find jobs, I will fly back.
Back.
I'm gonna be back and forth, so.
But what do we wanna do while we're here? So that's, and think out of the box, so. I'm
And
gonna
I
leave
know
it
a lot
with
of
Pam.
sound editors, mixers, that way.
Wonderful.
Yes. Yeah, I was also thinking, we're not that far from Pixar or ILM or, all those places that we should get them to give us a tour.
Yeah, that'd be
That'd be cool. Yeah.
Sorry. One thing I was hoping too is like, so I'm taking the resume reel class with Richard. It's like your final portfolio, senior portfolio. And we talk a lot about everything that you could talk about, but sometimes I have a hard time like in that class because I don't feel it's one thing to generalize what to expect when you graduate, but it's another thing to like say what your goal is and as a woman how to succeed with it and have someone who knows the ins and outs. So I don't know if maybe one of these times we could get together and like everybody could go into like full detail for like a plan for like the 5-year plan or something, because I don't know, like Richard's cool and all, but like when I told him what I wanted to do, he kind of like laughed, like, haha.
I'm gonna slap.
Yeah. I think about doing that every class, to be real. But like, he's a very interesting dude that like is like a good like person to like what's it called? When you need someone who like goes against everything you say to make
He's
you
a
like.
contrarian.
Yeah, he is. So.
Oh, so the rumors are true.
Yeah. Yeah. So it would just be nice if maybe all of us could like come up with a 5-step plan and then have women who are successful like show us how, and also kind of find the errors in our plans and what's realistic and what's not, especially for me graduating, because I'd like to know what I can afford, what I should be doing, because I don't really like to waste my time at all either.
And the other two things I really want, well, Comcast Sportsnet is right here. That's the connections there. I was just at the PAP 12.
Good.
It's a lot of tech jobs though, lots of it. It's amazingly all whatever the PAP 12 is doing. I mean, from tennis to gymnastics to.
San Jose's hosting the.
Yeah, I mean, it
Sweet
was
16
it was there one from one studio to another studio to another studio.
But yeah, I get that. It's like, what should you, because even just thinking about it, it's like, where should I start if I want to get here? Because it's like, if I'm starting here, am I wasting my time? And I could be starting here, closer to there, and like just talking to those people that to understand, like, okay, what.
I hate to leave. I've got to go teach my kids.
I have to go teach too, actually. So what I think we should do very first thing is figure out when we can meet again.
Yeah.
So
This time works for me.
This time works? How frequently do you want to meet?
Weekly.
Weekly?
Yeah.
You are about to graduate.
I'm in hyperdrive mode.
So next week is spring break, but we could meet the week after that.
Okay.
If Champaign, does this work for you?
Yeah.
Okay. So this
I'll be
is,
like running here from post after.
Okay.
So might be late. And I
Okay.
also have a class at 3:40.
I know, I do too, but mine is just down the
Yeah,
hall.
I only came here early because I got my period today and I did not want to go to my first class.
Amen.
I woke up, I'm like, I don't want to move.
Yeah.
So
That's understandable.
I'm lucky to be here now. Which is, I'm glad there's cookies.
Yeah.
Someone I read on Twitter, like people are so stupid about like what happens with women's bodies. Men are so stupid with what happens. And it was this thing like this guy was on this rant on Twitter like, who's saying that tampons shouldn't be free? Like they need to like girls should be able to control their bowels. Like it's and I was like, wait,
It's a voluntary thing.
I was like, I would not choose this.
Yeah, no, it's like a mini pregnancy.
Yeah.
It's
Everywhere.
Sign up for that.
I have a thought, like, you guys are I have some ideas of like really cool places it would be to visit, and also cool people it would be.
But weekends are cool too.
Yeah, well, we could plan like things, that we could go. So if everybody would come up, if you know of a place that you want to visit, if you know of someone that you want to meet that's local, we could try.
Oh, Ruskell. What? I would be Ruskell.
Who's that?
Ruskell,
Ruskell.
the sideline.
I do too.
Yeah.
I partied with her
The
one time.
sideline.
That was cool.
So
Well, not really, but she was.
between now and next week, why don't we think of places that we might want to
She
go?
might be down.
If there's anybody local that you think it would be fun to meet, we may or may not be able to meet them, but we could definitely try.
Okay.
I'm a Dr.
So
Jan.
just, think about what we want to do. We can't hammer it all out today because obviously we all have class, but we'll meet the same time the week after spring break,
April 5th
April 5th.
at 3 o'clock.
And
I think it's also a good idea if everyone, I think the main question is what do we want from this? Like,
yes.
what do we all want? Like, not necessarily speakers, not necessarily like the trips, but like, as a whole, like, what do we want to take away from every meeting? Like, do we want, like, like she said, field trips and to meet people, sure, and like I don't know, like we can go even further than this. I think like be supportive. Like we all, like, you hear of a job that someone else might be interested in, like pass along ideas, you know.
Yeah.
It's a good idea.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
For us to like network with each other and
Yeah.
to also encourage each other. And then like what Dee said, like just set a game plan. Like we set what we want to do, we share it with each other, and then someone has like a good idea. Okay, well I know this person. This
Yeah.
we can start here or something like that.
Especially because all of us want to go to like different locations.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, for us and what I want to do, everyone's saying like, because I want to work in like music, so do all the videography for like a band or something, and like just travel.
Yeah.
And when I said like where I want to go, they were like, well, why don't you go to New York or LA or like Toronto or something? And I was like, no, like I want to go to Hawaii. Like I'm into reggae music, so
Oh my
like,
gosh,
that'd
like
be a good start.
JPEG.
Yeah, my friend's his photographer.
Yeah, my dad mixes like flagabas with him all the time. Yeah. So if you need,
Thank
like,
you.
I got the like the Wileys. He's a Wiley, Fiji. He's
Yeah.
a Wiley. My
Yeah.
dad's a Wiley. So if you need
Wait.
to,
Wait, what? I'm sorry, I'm just like really blown right now.
yeah,
Okay.
no, like I'm dead serious. If you really want to like meet them or like, like I for real, I can like talk to my cousins and stuff. If you're going down there, girl, I'm from like I got roots there.
Yeah.
Because-
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Wait. oh my God, this is
before
so bad.
everyone goes,
My
you guys all
cousin,
put your
she
email
her best friend's a videographer at the Republic,
Okay.
and I was gonna like try to do that, but I'd rather skip steps.
Yeah, like Spawn Breezy, all of them. They like all mix with my dad. My dad's like flagaba king. Dead serious. You know, like.